Silperua gains the event partnership with Zena. They are now our trade protectorate. Pretty sick. The next thing that's gonna happen is we need to build some stuff in the timber point. This place needs a fort and a marketplace. Let's go to the marketplace. The next thing that's gonna happen is probably this war with meagre to upgrade our 3 heavy ships in preparation. Maybe we start paying for the army. Also our strength, level 1 siege. 8,000. Can he deal with that? He might struggle a little with that. Also more tolerated. Lose a little bit of prestige. Clothes is nice. I'm always happy to get more clothes. A marble monument. We've seen this before. This is money for stab. Build a monument to unity. More clothes. Excellent. We spent all our money. That disappeared real fast. But it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. More clothes. We feel like we got real lucky with all these clothes. Oh, he attacked someone else. That is a very good sign for us. Republican tradition is low, so we get punished to be expected. Golden Tremor over here. Another Centaur clan. Oh, Denise Kinnear became a conqueror. That gives -5 years of separatism. That is a trait I really like. Because it's less unrest when you conquer new land. It's just quite nice. Let's see some ogres. Come on. These guys are ogres. Excellent. Let's spy on them. We can't spy on them. We need to spy on their overlord. I think we're ready for this war. Now, the only problem with this war is we do want to go and peace out these people. Adaru, Jarafarin, and Kurauko. We have to probably defeat Negefarma and siege down at least this fort, and this one before we can even get to the other participants. When our ships are in position, then it's time for war. Let's call in our trade protectorate. Suavim is probably a pretty nice war goal. Should be able to take that reasonably fast. Actually, very fast. They don't have a fort here. This is the Anbennar icon. Oh, it has an 80% chance of cloves. So that's why we got so many cloves. Maybe we do one more cloves island. Oh no, we were discovered. That reminds me, we definitely want to spy on these guys. We finished that colony. That should give us enough reach to go into the leech dens for real. So let's do that. Oh no! Didn't think about that. But they would of course occupy our gold mine. Another colony finished. Let's start another one in the leech dens. And one more colony finished. I think we just keep going over here. We don't really need that much. We just want 3 provinces in money and war reps. That is still quite a lot of war score, but we should definitely be able to get it. Maybe wait for the rest of the army. Oh dear. These 9,000 troops are in trouble. This is defensive terrain. And we can put a really bad general in. Oh, something changed. We managed to get out. Good. Good. Take this fort and then probably try to find a good battle. Can repay all our loans. I think we should. More rebels. We should not have gone into this jungle province. Oof, 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 oof. This is not good. We can run on the 28th. Let's see how it goes. more or less equal losses. But now we are in kind of a little bit of trouble. Got a disease outbreak. Bam. Our colony has been struck by Damarian fever. Leech Dens is not a very nice place. Illness has struck our colony in Sulsuki, just as we have brought many foreign diseases to the native people. It would seem there is a curse on the land, and our people are falling ill and dying at an alarming rate. If we do not organize a response, we risk losing our colony in Sulsuki entirely. We can just pray, which gives -15 settler increase in both places. We can quarantine, which gives -30 in one province. Or we can send someone to organize, which is only -10. So I think we'll take that, because we do want to colonize as much as possible. I think we made a mistake there, and we lost 5,000 cannons. It's not the end of the world. Fight these guys off on the second. Quality of mercenaries. Sure, let's gain some professionalism. We lost a lot of cannons. Did I mess it up? Thought they arrived at the same time. It's time for Denise Canary to get re-elected. We have to do it, even though it hurts our public and tradition quite badly. But I don't want a meta war again. Looks like our vassals dealt with the rebels. That's actually really nice. Summon a Diet. Down to the disease outbreak. But we should still be able to get Kurauko out of the war pretty fast. Our spy network on the ogres is above 30, so now we should be able to feast with the Fathide ogres in their Kelaktar. Kelaktar fortifications. Within the Ogre Valley, Fathide Ogre Society is organized around Kelaktars, fortified settlements characterized by an encircling wall typically made of stone. This forms the basic unit of administration, allowing animal herds to graze out in the land surrounding a Kelaktar and then be brought back in to be butchered or otherwise processed. Some are legendary, like the cloud giant ruins of Magama or the bronze-plated walls of Rijansvi. Asali's main challenge in the Ogre Valley was not to understand architectural peculiarities, but to charm its inhabitants. The Fathides have embraced their constant hunger and believe in Iskerak Vulshaw, where they partake in ritualistic feasts, maintaining that consuming something allows you to inherit some of its traits. Realizing the best way to the heart is through the stomach, Asali has purchased a vast amount of delicacies in the Serpent Gift as his caravan traveled north from Bulvar and hosted a grand feast for the ogres in Magama. Between courses, he studied their agricultural defense networks, planning on adapting the designs for the outlying hamlets of Vivusina. Several ogres have returned with him, willing to provide labor for the opportunity to sample novel Sahali cuisine. You're not you when you're hungry. We gain a large challenge increase of ogres, all our vassals gain that as well, and we gain ogre minority size in our capital and in up to 5 random owned or subject provinces that produce livestock. So that is quite nice. Construction time and tax modifier. That's okay, I think. Let's return to our war. That is fine. Now Kurauko wants out. We'll just piece them out as soon as we're out of their area. We'll take their money. We'll take their war efforts. That's all we want. Jarafarin should be a bit easier to get out, as they don't have any forts. Gain some mill points. Gain some mercantilism. Probably mill points, right? Mercantilism is beneficial, but kind of a minor buff, I think. That's how I think about it. And of course, our Republican tradition is now very, very low, so we immediately lose our mill power, but that's fine. Our troops sack the place, gain some mill power and money, but lose prestige and professionalism. I usually take the professionalism here, since we only have 3%. I think just take the money. Let's keep converting. We got an ogre event. Oh, we can actually gain some Republican tradition. Let's read this event. Size does matter. Ogres have a long tradition of building monumental fortified settlements, possibly dating back to the time of their giant ancestors. Tradition they maintain to this day, showing significant prowess in construction due in part to their size and strength. This is not simply a choice of style, as it's blatantly clear ogres are rather tall fellows. With an imposing height of at least 10 feet, they positively need larger dwellings than other races, and often find themselves in awkward situations when living in our cities due to their blundering frames. In hopes of remedying this, a delegation of ogre master masons, architects and notables have presented the court with a proposal for a series of sweeping reforms to the standards of construction in our realm in order to accommodate to the needs of their growing community. Aware of the seemingly daunting costs, they assure this style will not only favor their race, but also our reputation as patrons of the arts. Let's get the 10 years more expensive and slower buildings. Maybe we should just build a handful of buildings first. There's some pretty good workshops we can build. Oh, on the cloves, of course. And then we want a lot of temples. I think that's not enough, or maybe he will build some on his own. We need 10 provinces with temples in South Island here. Building 4 extra will bring us to 8. That's good, but it's not enough. Anyway, that's going to be fine. We gain send in the infantry. You are the finest. Infantry combat ability +5. Pretty good. We just piece these guys out. Now the numbers should heavily favor us, and the war should be easy peasy. What is this? Tlalusks of Yilmuitsa. Kirsch made it damn clear he wasn't happy about going back north, and I agreed with him. The forests above the Ogre Valley are cold, desolate, and entirely inhospitable. Now, with the few locals that live there believe that spirits inhabit everything in the forest, from rocks to trees. I can't imagine the tree spirits feeling too good when they get ripped in half by a Tlalusk. Giant woolly nightmares, nearly 15 feet tall, and with 6 legs, similar to the elephants back home, but far more ornery. They graze on lichens and scrubs for sustenance. Getting in their way is a good way to get impaled by their tusks, and that's if you survive the roar, which can rupture eardrums and knock a grown man flat on his ass. Best of all, damn roar alerts every Tlalusk for miles to come in and help their friend. So we knew we were gonna have to pull out all the stops on this one. The Autobiography of Fauna Hunter Basturai Katsuru, Chapter 9. These things could sate even an ogre's hunger. We will discover Bunritan. We gain Hunt the Beast, which gives us additional settler chance, and less attrition, and colonial range and trade range, and less attrition on ships. And we gain Tame the Beast decision, which allows us to capture the fauna once your army is in the province that contains it. Excellent. And we finished studying enchantment. Commodore has faced challenges to her rule before, but none such as this. A young man has been going around claiming to have received an enchanted blade from some lady of the lagoon, granting him a mandate whereby he has proclaimed himself king of the Suvunva. Somehow this farcical aquatic ceremony has caused quite a stir, and he's attracted a sizable entourage. It's not clear what he wants after achieving his claimed kingship. Does he advocate for a system of government based on strange women lying in ponds distributing swords? In the future, we shall have to request that the merfolk be more discerning in how they dispose of garbage. For now though, how do we deal with this character? We can pull a sword from a stone, or who's to say how power is derived? Let us treat with this king. Or we can show him the violence inherent in the system. I wouldn't mind a stab. It's quite expensive, but way cheaper than actually buying it here. So maybe it's not too bad. Let's pull a sword from a stone. This colony is almost finished, so let's do a little preemptive shuffling of the colonists. Getting more half-elves, and they want out of the war. which I understand. We can probably take what we want. We want these 3 provinces, we want their money, and we want the war reps. We can't actually get it yet, and we would also like to piece these guys out. Almost no money. Not sure if that's worth it. So we now can't study any more magic. We can upgrade our magical fortress. I think that will be fine. And then we certainly should build a mage tower in our capital. It's very expensive because of the ogre and now also the magical fortress. So we kind of messed that up, but we're still good. Are they willing to give us all we want? Yes, it looks like it. We transfer this to Ikekabe, then it doesn't cost any Diplo points. We definitely keep Suvavim ourselves. For the center of trade, we might give this province. Let's give it to Ikekabe. We need to get here and fight the mammoth. Getting our army up there is kind of a headache. Our first colony in the Leech Dance is done. Now, is it going with the temples? Just need one more, so we can build that in that colony, and then we can send the colonist down here. That should be good. We also need to transfer 15 regiments over there. Deal with separatists. We just need to send these guys over with our general. I think we're doing okay for the most part. We have a whole bunch of land to explore now, so we should probably do that. We should remember to cancel the military access there. And we're almost at the Diplo point cap. We do need to put some more Diplo development in Zena, because there is a mission that requires 15 base production. There's a mission that requires 15 manpower, one that requires 15 production, and one that requires 15 tax. We have the manpower and the tax, but we don't have the 15 production. And you can see here, every click costs almost 150 monarch points. So that is very, very expensive. Now we can upgrade this. We can actually do it twice. We should have done that before we did the mage tower. That helps a little. We can also remove one, maybe gain some extra money. Click 116, quite expensive. We need to do 4 more clicks, but I'm waiting for the tower. Mage tower will make it cheaper, so that is good. Since we are now upgrading this monument, we're doing this because we want to get the missionary strength. We have a few provinces with the Kedist religion. We have negative missionary strength in these provinces because the Kedist religions gain -2%, so they're more difficult to convert. That's why we need more missionary strength, and we hope to get it from this monument. But since we are upgrading it, let's read the law. The great Kuika Gamji is impossible to miss. It towers over Lake Kuisiva, standing at over 200 meters tall. What its original purpose was is beyond anyone's knowledge. It is not made of any material known to exist on Halan, adding to its mystery. Since its discovery, it has attracted admirers and worshippers from every people and every race in Western Sahol. Naturally, every single faith has been convinced it is a sign from their gods, which has led to the Kuika Gamji to be the site and the reason for many brutal wars over the millennia. That is pretty cool. It looks like our temple's finished. So now we have a lot of trust with Silparura. We have Ruinborn integrated, and we have 10 provinces in South Elentir owned by subjects with temples. That gives us lessons of the Effelai. The Commodore has been resolute. No man or woman from Zena is to step foot in the jungle without the express permission of the Paruran people. Fortunately, in the time that I have been here, there have been no shortage of volunteers, whether they be refugees, thrill seekers, or treasure hunters, willing to undergo the harsh trials and convert to the Jahinanito faith. As they come back, I always stare at them wistfully, asking as many questions as I can while I write their words down in my journal. But my dear Nulri, the jungle is just so enchanting. I wish to experience it for myself rather than through second-hand accounts. There are so many lessons that we can learn from this song. Perhaps I will ask Jare if I may attempt the trials myself. Letter from Halfling Explorer Felana Quillweaver to her fiancé, Nuri Imbiswa. Why are you asking Jare? Oh, Jare is the leader of these guys, of course. That gives us a large tolerance increase of Ruinborn. They're already integrated, but in case they weren't, we gain an increase. We gain a cheaper artist, and Selparura gains a cheaper naval reformer, and Selmekchintinana will become a repeatable pilgrimage site for our pantheon, and our leader becomes a powerful mage, and she will be able to go on another pilgrimage, which is quite cool. So I assume she lost the Conqueror trait. No, she lost Greedy. Oh, not bad actually. That's quite nice. By the way, we should probably cast the Familiar spell. And definitely the Projected Journey. And we want to go on a second pilgrimage. A journey to the Effelai will allow us to partake and learn of new rituals and magical practices, granting a boon whose nature will be revealed after the first successful pilgrimage to this location. We will definitely do that, probably right away. It costs some monarch points, of course, but we're doing well on monarch points. These guys would accept the threatened war. It looks like the Harpies almost killed the local people. We probably will conquer them at some point. It's not really a great hurry. They can colonize a bit. Here we gain prospering times. I really like that. Spices is pretty good, but we don't really want Diplopore. Let's just take the tax. And normally I would build a temple. Let's just build it anyway, even though it's very, very expensive. Got a pilgrimage event. A modest shrine. As the pilgrim group passes through a forested path, Denise Canary notices a derelict shrine standing on the side of the road. Curious, she asks one of the griots in the retinue about its nature. The griot approaches the shrine to investigate, and soon returns looking dejected. I know of the hero this shrine is dedicated to, and it greatly saddens me to see it in such a sorry state. He was a most virtuous paladin, a true paragon whose tales should be sung far and wide. His expression suddenly shifts, filling with excitement. Oh, but I see now how we can amend this impiety. My Commodore, I know you to be one of true piety and devotion. Once we return to Zena, grant me the funding to create the greatest shrine our country has ever seen and dedicate it to this holy warrior. I already have plans for such a temple. Let me explain them to you. The griot goes on and on about his designs and dreams. By the way he is speaking, Denise Canary is sure this would be a very, very expensive shrine. Yeah, so it's kind of double cost, right? They normally cost 100 at full price. But it does increase our chances, and that is quite cool. Legendary Invocation and Necromancy. Interesting. Our 15 troops have arrived here in the Leech Dens, so let's see. All our subjects are loyal. We have more than 12 provinces in the Lai Peninsula and more than 7 in the Colonial Leech Dens. And we also have a province with 15 regiments. Mushroom Mythos. While there are those that abandon their old homes in Bivusina to live among the Perura people, they have never abandoned their old friends. Aboard the floating trade cities, we swap stories, share meals, and keep up with news from both sides of the world. As well, some of the first people to convert have had children with the people of Selparura, and those children sometimes have the desire to come back with us to Bivusina, to learn more about the other half of their heritage, and to see more of the world than the forest. Our Medaka, of course, welcomes them with open arms. As for me, the forest is a whole world unto itself. In our last expedition, we discovered mushrooms that were literally made of gold. Actual, real gold. The Effelai truly never ceases to surprise. Except from the notes of Halfling Explorer Felana Quillweaver. We and all our subjects gain tale of the gold-plated fungi, which gives 5% settler chance, 20% improved relations, 10% trade steering, 15% reduced envoy travel time, and 10% treasure fleet income. Quite nice. And up to 4 random provinces owned by us or our subject in the Leech Stench or Mushroom Forest that don't produce gold will produce gold. And our cheetahs will be upgraded, so they also give 10% land attrition. That's alright. See, that's quite a lot of gold. Now, these guys, I would like for them to get up there. Don't think we want either of those. Become a lich or a war wizard. Maybe a war wizard actually is not horrible. She does have 6 military skill. Let's rival the rent back. That's probably fine. Ceremony disrupted. Okay, we're over 50 now, so we can steal maps here. Nusabok is 56 province. That's pretty good. We're almost at the... One more click. Magical Fortress Talk of the Town. Temptation of the bottle. It was and it wasn't. A long time ago and just yesterday, a fisherman found a bottle in his net, and plucking it out, wondered what might be in it. Stoppered as it was with sealed wax and dotted with flecks of gleaming blue starstone, the bottle whispered to him, "Release me, and I will make you king." And the fisherman, wishing for a better life for his wife and children, agreed. But inside the bottle was a genie, and even though it gave the man and his family a castle right at the edge of the sea on a tall cliff with a great treasury full of gold, on the night of the full moon, when Nelanan's gaze turned to the fisherman's horizon, the castle vanished, for the genie's power failed under her sight. And so the fisherman and his family fell into the sea and drowned. So children, remember, any power given to you rather than earned through your own skill is easily taken away. As Denise Canary walks along the sandy shores of a lake, Denise Canary's foot hits a glass bottle half buried in the sand. A seahorse design is pressed into the wax seal keeping the bottle closed. As Denise Canary picks it up, they feel a warmth from inside it and get the strange urge to open it. A voice whispers that if they open the bottle, it will grant them one wish. We can open it eagerly, and then we lose one and we gain an event, which I assume is something good because it also reduces the chance of the pilgrimage. We can keep it closed but take it home, which gives us all power cost until she dies. She is not so young anymore. Or we can keep it closed and take it to the temple. Kind of want to see what this does. Should we just do it? It's probably not worth it. It's pretty bad to lose a monarch point. Let's open it. Let's see what happens. We can select a minor incantation. Each incantation costs 1 genie cult power. Your current cult power is blank. Which incantation do you want to select? Okay, so this I assume is from a different religion. The genie cult, movement speed or land attrition. Okay, so definitely not worth it, I would say. Let's get the movement speed. And she lost a military skill, which is not the worst one to lose, I think, in our situation. Copy of the mages. Mages like drinking coffee. Oh. Those halflings were scared enough to agree to threaten. I wonder if Mihitara would also agree. Let's try. Colony finished. Start a new one. Got another pilgrimage event. A robbed woman. As Denise Canary walks down a forest path, Denise Canary hears a woman cry out, "Help! Your honor, I beg your aid. Bandits have chased me from my home, and now I have only the clothes on my back, not even the bracelet my husband gifted me. There are 4 of them, more than I could hope to face. But surely you could drive them off." Denise Canary turns to look for the voice and sees her sitting under a tree a few steps away. Denise Canary sees an older woman, regal in bearing, wearing clothing of good quality but faded. Her feet are bare and her hands are marked by hard labor. The delay potentially caused by a fight and the risk of wounds, or the chance of a trap, make the Canary's guards hesitate. But the more superstitious among them seem inclined to aid her, not willing to risk divine punishment for neglecting the vulnerable. Okay, because we have at least military skill 3, we can become a bold fighter and drive them off, gain 50 crowns. Or we can give some crowns to the lady, or we can escort her, which does nothing, or we can ignore her, which has a chance to make us craven. I don't really want to become a bold fighter, weirdly enough, because I quite like all our traits. So maybe we just give her some money? Let's move on. Colony finished. Start a new one. And we got a new colonial nation. And we will immediately subsidize them. Subsidies. Now the colony finished. Maybe it's time to go over our limit. I think it is. Aha, we arrived at Effelai at last. The transition was not gradual. One moment, Denise canoe was trekking through the drylands of the coast, and the next she stood before a wall of green. The humidity hit her first, a heavy wet blanket of air that smelled of loam, sweet rot, and aggressive life. Craning her neck upwards, Denise Canary grew dizzy. The trees did not merely grow towards the sky, they seemed to hold it up, their canopies lost in a verdant twilight miles above the forest floor. This was not a forest of wood and leaf, but an ancient organic cathedral, alive and terrifyingly sentient. Stepping onto the boat and traveling down the river was like stepping into the lungs of a god. Every inch of the Effelai crawled with activity. Vines shifted when not looked at directly. The buzzing of insects created a drone that vibrated in her very teeth. As Denise Canary navigated the tributaries, searching for one of the Peruran trade platforms, she felt eyes upon her, not of beasts, but of the trees themselves. There was no silence here, only a cacophony of existence resonating in the air. It was overwhelming, a sensory assault that threatened to drown the mind in pure noise. But Denise Canary did not retreat. She finally found the Chahinanito people. While with them, partaking in their hunts and their rituals, she surged out with her spirit. Over time, the noise organized itself. The chaos became a rhythm. She could feel the song of the jungle, partake in her magical reagents and boons. It had been an exercise in harmony, in connection, in the raw mechanics of concentration and meditation. And when Denise Canary returned home, these lessons would stay with her, and the song would continue to be sung. The very air here thrums with power. We gain Pilgrim of the Effelai until the death of our ruler, giving 20% ruler experience modifier. That's probably really good. I mean, it's tempting to try and become a lich and then study all the magic. That is a very powerful tactic, but I'm not sure if that's really what we want to do here. We got a Medaka event, it looks like. One of the most prominent Metawar recently died in mysterious circumstances, having become ill after dinner one night and passing away hours later despite the best efforts of his doctors. His family is publicly accusing some of the Effergesmo political rivals of orchestrating his murder, claiming they bribed one of the cooks to sneak poison in his dinner, demanding them to be arrested and punished for their crime. They have been unable to present conclusive evidence of this crime, and the Effergesmo claim that the death was probably the result of an illness, with one of them daring to say that the Metawar would not have to fear local diseases if they simply went back to Catarata. We can lose some stab and give power to the Metawar. We can lose some prestige and power, or we can lose 10. Whoa, if we punish the family, we lose 10 Republican tradition. So we don't want to punish them. Let's say without evidence, there's nothing we can do. We finished our mage tower. Oh, that actually brought us to the cap. Now the tower here is finished, so we should probably just do the 3 clicks. These guys have arrived. We can try and tame them. Oh, we were discovered. Oh no. Okay, but at least these guys. Probably stop spying on them and then move back here fast as we can. Oh, we need to find Gerudia. We need to find the Grey Orcs. We have a new mission for our explorer. We have another mission we can do because we are benefiting from a marquee animal from the menagerie, and we have fought everything in our capital area and built workshops in all the provinces. We have 900 crowns and we've completed our Effelai pilgrimage. Giant of Agriot's Tales. From humble roots, our Medaka did rise to build a realm where golden... Holy, no, this is a song. From humble roots our Medaka did rise, to build a realm where golden fortunes gleam. Beneath the watch of vast and verdant skies, they forged a truth out of a dreamer's dream. No borders bar the kin of scale or fin, nor those who walk on 2 legs or on 4. Let every stranger find a home within, and leave their weary burdens at the door. Come witness now the relics we hold dear, the markets vast where endless wonders dwell. From lands afar the travellers gather here, To buy, to trade, to barter, and to sell. So let our griot's tale be loudly told, of Zena's heart more precious far than gold. Song about Zena, sung by a griot. Sorry about that. We spent the 900 crowns and then we start constructing a counting house in Sinavuma. That's the capital area. So I assume that's in every province. And our majestic menagerie and exceptional treasures both get upgraded. We gain some pretty nice modifiers from that. Some dev cost and tax modifier, and also some global modifiers, religious unity and settler chance. That's pretty good. And we can now choose 2 marquee animals simultaneously within the Medaka's majestic menagerie. And any modifiers we have from relics or the menagerie will be extended for 25 years. And it looks like we have 4 of them. That is pretty good. Let's take it. We can immediately do some of the next missions. First, I like to have a look. Yeah, interestingly, the cheetahs, they were supposed to get upgraded, but I don't think we get the full benefit unless we click this button. That's quite interesting. Let's just immediately do the next missions. Oh, this one upgrades the exceptional treasures even more. So we should probably read the modifiers first. Here we have the exceptional treasures. The museum is grand. From all across Halan, people come to see our famed exhibits. Our relics are sourced from every nation under the sun. And the menagerie? Our menagerie has critters from all over Halan. There are opportunities for our children to ride animals and eat food sourced from creatures across the world. All enemies are treated humanely and given the utmost respect. So let's upgrade the treasures even more. We can do that because we have 15 base tags and we accepted 2 cultures in this very long list. But basically it's halflings, it's Effelai cultures, and it's lizard folk, I think, pretty much. The 2 we have accepted are 2 halfling cultures. So we gain the world's collection. Now if Vern is a clumsy city, 15 things at once, I'd say Zena is the only one that comes close to matching her gaudiness with all the different people there. Almost as keen to boast as well, and that's a good spirit they got. And while they haven't got half the good shit we have here, their exceptional initiative has quite a few interesting relics. No good mustaches to be found there, the bloody rascals, but the blue roses in the planters are lovely. But it all, of course, pales in comparison to our vernissage. How do I explain? I need another drink anyway. Let me grab some more cups. Boasts from an unnamed Vernman in a tavern. He still thinks his city is better. But I'll take it, And that gives us 75 government reform progress, and it upgrades our exceptional treasures to give even more development cost and even more religious unity, and now also a little bit of local fort maintenance. And it also gives a moderate challenge increase of all races to us and all our subjects, and future relics will be cheaper. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Memories in the heart. To all our glorious farmers, fishers and ranchers, we need more food to feed the wonderful creatures in the menagerie in Zena. Your Medaka is announcing a competition. The delegation of the city with the greatest harvest produced will be given an all-expenses-paid trip to Zena, with the ability to visit the majestic menagerie where their work is being put to excellent use, as well as Medaka's exceptional treasures. Will your town be the lucky one? With your greatly appreciated labor, it just might be. Advertisement to encourage increased food production. So that's because we have 15 base manpower in Zena, and we have more than 15 provinces that produce grain, livestock, fish and ivory. So we can feed all our animals. Makes sense? That gives us every province owned by us or our subjects that produce fish, grain or livestock gains feeding menagerie for 50 years, giving us extra production efficiency and goods reduced. And the menagerie gets upgraded, so now it gets more tax and more settler chance. And just everything is more. And now we can read. The entranceway of Medaka's exceptional treasures has tens of thousands of names engraved into the entryway in every language across Halan. Curators tirelessly travel across the world to find new works to exhibit, and all manner of relics, magics and art have found their way into the halls. Each is commemorated with a plaque explaining the culture that it came from, as well as its importance, and they are all returned to their owners once their time is up. This way, the museum continues a rotating collection that allows return visitors to find new joys each time they come. And the menagerie. The menagerie is a massive spectacle of both our prowess as hunters and caretakers. Blue roses litter the large fenced fields where the animals play and live for the entertainment of citizens who come from all across our land. Hawkers give concessions to children who gawk at the creatures from all over the world. Special exhibits come and go, with encampments perfect for each animal's environment, constructed masterfully by Effelai stonecarver and his apprentices. Truly, it is an attraction to wow the world. Very happy about that. And this one probably upgrades the market, but we need to upgrade our center of trade in order to do that. Let's buy on these ogres. Maybe they can tell us about Namshilyan. Hold on, where did the Oni go? Maybe because we got to the fat hide ogres, maybe we didn't need to go get the Oni? Or maybe the Oni don't exist anymore, it's also possible. Do a diet. Let's do this one for the adventurers. They want us to colonize a province in the Turtles' Rear region. Sent one right away. We got the result of the hunt. After tracking down the creatures within this province, it is time to see if Bastrai Kasuro and his friend Kios have been successful. A successful hunt. Read the conclusion of the thrilling story. The Wilderwood Furbolgs. As you know, I ain't above calling in a favor or trying to fish for help when I require it, which was sorely needed here. Kios, for once, agreed with me instead of being an obstinate bastard, which I could just about kiss him for. So we went to the Kukatodic peoples and asked around, trying to figure out the best way to get some of the prize pachyderm for ourselves, ideally alive, so we could show him off at the menagerie. They told us of some nearby giantkin, which to me sounded like more trouble than it was worth. But apparently these guys, the Wilderwood Furbolgs, were nice enough neighbors and lived in harmony with nature. Their druid's power could help us tame the beasts. Anyway, we went to them, 3-meter high, blue-skinned elf-like figures. I tried my best not to need a change of pants, and we bartered some of Bivusina's famed blue roses, given that they were sourced from a Fae portal somewhere else. I think they reminded them of the Fae they were close to. They eventually agreed to help us ensnare 2 beasts, and offered to trade more interesting and dangerous local megafauna if we came back with better trades. Kios kindly let them know that anything more dangerous would probably scare the children, and we went on our way with 2 big woolly beasts in tow. Led the creatures back through the Serpent's Pass to Bivusina. Asali constructed a soundproof barrier for the enclosure, and voila! Big 6-legged woolly assholes were now friendly exhibits. Everyone goes home happy. The Autobiography of Fauna Hunter Bastrai Kasuro, Chapter 9. A genuine mammoth for the menagerie. Fascinating. Ooh, we gain Tlalus plus 2 missionary strength. That's actually really nice. We really want that. That will help a lot with managing to convert the Kedist provinces. I think we should just try and convert the Kedist provinces as fast as possible, while we have the bonus from the animal. Oh no, they are starting to colonize this area. I don't like that. And nobles are worried, so we lose a stab. It's very bad. Let's spy on Golden Tremor again. 42 provinces is pretty good. That requires us to go in here. Ah, so we found another relic, I assume? The Irdu Cougar School. There are many misconceptions about Centaur society. One of the most persistent ones is that the sole focus of their existence is vengeance, death, and battle. While there are some that believe that, notably those of the Vidust Cougar sect, the Centaurs are varied and diverse. One such sect that diverges from this stereotype is the Irdu Cougar sect, emerging roughly 800 years ago during the rule of the Iguialost Khaganate. They focus on honoring Irdea's gift by enjoying life's pleasures and partaking in hospitality, kindness, and virtue. One of Asali's stonecarver's apprentices, a mage and musician by trade, has traveled to Great Rally and is studying them for the moment. We can plan to purchase it legally, which will cost us almost 1300 gold. Very expensive, but it can be reduced if we improved, have an alliance, make them a subject, have a high ruler or estate enchantment levels, and completing the world's collection mission, which we have completed now. And that would give us plus 10% monthly reform and gives us a centaur minority. So we will, of course, improve relations with them. And we've now found Grumbar. So we can spy anew. These are harpies. A knightly order of harpies. Interesting. I don't know a lot about this area. What are these? They are soul-seeker ogres. Should be some eagle hobgoblins somewhere. What are these? Eagle hobgoblins. Excellent. Let's spy anew. A mage council. Cheaper trader. We will definitely take that. Now it's time to do tech. We can do extra 10% settler growth. It's very nice. And another idea group. Trade is most fitting. I don't remember what we were planning. Exploration gives quite a lot of colonization benefits, but I don't really like going exploration unless you go at first to find Aelantir as fast as possible. And it feels like that's what it's intended to do. And we're doing quite well with colonization anyway. I think for conquest you would go espionage almost always. Let's go trade. We are a trading city. We can upgrade our donkey chargers to imported horse riders. Maybe that is better. We should also repair the Anbennar, which we can now do because we have admin tank 10. The Anbennar, once mighty fort cities of the halflings, have crumbled over the eons, worn down by wind, water and warfare. They are now nothing more than ruins. However, with recent technological advancements, our engineers believe we can restore them to their former glory and perhaps raise them to even greater heights. There will be cost to such a project, but the benefits and prestige of undertaking such a restoration would be great and potentially give us significant clout among the folk of Favanosi. In the midst of the ancient past, before the Visembi were driven from the mainland, the halfling peoples of Sahol built great beehive cities along the shores of the Gulf of Lel. These tiered coastal fortresses were the Anbennar, the city-states that formed the core of Visembi civilization. When the mainland halflings were expelled from their ancestral homes, the once proud Anbennar fell to ruin, abandoned by their human conquerors as unsuitable for habitation by tall folk. There they have sat, crumbling and abandoned for hundreds of years, their disintegrating edifices sad testament to this once great civilization. Now that we have reclaimed the coast, however, we have a chance to undo the damage that time and conflict have inflicted on the beehive cities, and rebuild the Anbennar to the heights of their greatness. Repair the one in Hooksfeld or repair the one in the Lizard Gate. Let's repair the one in Hookfield, because that is our gold mine. Kinda sad that we couldn't repair it here. I think that's because the previous owners cleared it, so that means we can never upgrade the Citadel of the Waves. Well, maybe we'll get it some other time. Magical Fortress. Rededicate yourself to the foundations of the project. Sure. Let's pay the inflation, gain some diplo points, and then we can take our first trade ideas. And that also gives us Visembi skylines. To meet the demand of our bolstered population, housing districts have been prioritized by the city to accommodate our new citizens. Through gathering our notes on the Visembi relics, our architects have started revamping Bivasina's layout, making use of our limited space. The latest prototype of stacking the houses have been met with little success, however. 10% dev cost. 2 colonies finished. That is quite nice. Can we just continue over here? Yes. Upgrade this for world port, and then do this mission. We have 15 base production and a level 3 center of trade, and we have at least 2. We have 7 blueprints of tomorrow, constructions from the blueprints of tomorrow. That gives us the skylines realized. One of my greatest inspirations was my years living in Bivasina. In one apartment complex you could live with neighbors hailing from all corners of Halan. Orcs, hobgoblin, gnolls, gnomes and many more. You could go down to the docks and swim with a merfolk, or run with a centaur along the beachfront. Every street was a medley of different architectural styles, From the classic Suvunwa mercenary to the Ananima-inspired beehive buildings to elven-style buildings made with wood that had been decorated by Numshilhani dragonel fire. Across the Seahorse Sea, you could see the islands of the Visembi glittering in the distance. There was so much life to live, and so many different perspectives and people to learn from. Famous Lenkori playwright Alisan Sil Elwyn. Actually, maybe we should wait with clicking it, because I'm noticing that it gives a benefit based on how many minorities you got. I think it's better to just click it, so we can get the Nyanza market upgraded faster, but we can wait just a few months until we get to 30 with these two, and that should allow us to do the last two blueprints. So I think that is more fun to get all the blueprints races. So let's see on our government reform. We have institutional embracement cost and absolutism. Supremacy of the diet reduces absolutism, and calling the diet increases republican tourism by 2. Something I really want because we call the diet a lot and our republican tradition is horrible. Advisors increase republican tradition. Okay, we definitely want one of those because that is quite nice. I think this is probably better. I also quite like the loyalty equilibrium bonus. Although the cost of advisors, there's a quite nice synergy here. Although a lot of our advisors are not our culture because we're not really culture converting. Let's take the one with the diet. The diet, sorry. When we finish that, that should make the adventurers happy. Oh, that's actually quite a lot of bad guys. We have 30 spy network on Grumbar. So we can now be guided by the Bolunders of Gerudia. Grumbari Glassworks. When the Grey Orcs of Grumbar left the Serpent Spine and began to settle the surface, they faced different challenges than their green kin, being both fewer in number and faced with a more hostile environment. In order to surmount them, they mingled more readily with the locals than their kin in Esken. As their power in the region grew, state incentives and the promise of dynamic alliances encouraged human nobles to take orcish wives and husbands as a sign of loyalty to the warlord Brasur Rosenmore, leading to a new generation of half-orcish children. With the combination of rugged Gerudian ingenuity and orcish discipline, Grumbar saw rapid development in architectural utility and aesthetics. While initially visiting to learn of the resource-efficient Taruks of the Northern Pass, fortified settlements in Arctic conditions, Azali was instead enamored by something else, the Grumbari Glassworks. Utilizing several large sand deposits likely left by ancient glaciers, the Grumbari people are one of the prime exporters of glass within Canor, capable of casting incredible sculptures and weather-resistant structures in their foundries. Azali has recruited prominent glassblowers to join him on his return to Bivacina, intent on creating public works of our streets. Several Grumbari soldiers have also accompanied their artisans for protection and to test their mettle against the jungles of Sahol. Their strength, bravery and skill will be a boon to Zena. We gain half-orcish tolerance to us and all our subjects. They become integrated, and we also gain half-orcs in our capital and in every province that produces glass. Glass is pretty rare. Do we have any that produces glass? No, our subject there has one. Let's check. Half-orcs gives us extra goods produced, manpower and sailors. I would say that's quite good. We should probably build some more trust with Selparura. Should also send some more colonists over here. Now we can hopefully... Oh, crawler goblins. Interesting. Are these guys crawler goblins? Yes, they are. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. Let's buy them. These guys are eagle hobgoblins, but they don't have an ancient forest. What do you mean? Okay, in that case, I think we just do the mission to get the Nyanza market upgraded, and we got some points so we can gain an extra merchant. So let's put our extra merchant maybe over here to drag some more trade value out of Pigkent. Oh, we should read the new Nyanza market. The Nyanza market is grander than it has ever been in Bivacina's history. The myriad constructions surrounding it, built by Asali Stonecarver and his apprentices, are wonders from all corners of Halan, adapted for use in this great city. People of all races and walks of life can be found within our walls and between our stalls, and the trade flows without turbulence, bringing prosperity and beauty to the city. We're pretty close now. I think the culture conversions are going to be the slowest part.